Welcome back to the channel, my friends. I wanted to take the opportunity to talk about my upcoming course, Freestyle Juggling. Now, this course is building on the foundations that I created in my last course, Juggling Foundations. The freestyle orientation is going to be a lot more creative. We are building on skills like going behind the back, integrating our tap flips, going into skills like our over the shoulder, diagonal over the shoulder, and over the back patterns. I'm super stoked to release this course because when I started juggling, I was primarily only focused on freestyle juggling. And so classical juggling wasn't something that I was even aware of. I didn't throw many bells in the air in this mill-like fashion. And what I love about freestyle juggling and why I'm so excited to get this course out is that it offers so much room for expression and creativity. Anything goes with freestyle. That's why it's called freestyle. I'm going behind the back, I can turn if I like, I can go up, I can do all these different tricks, and it really allows you to bring out your own style and expression. And so when I see different people do freestyle, it always looks so different. Everyone comes at it with a slightly different approach. Classical juggling is a little more set in stone. Everyone does similar mills, although there are lots of little differences, but more or less there are less elements to choose from, and therefore a little less creativity. I want to talk about my last course, The Art of Kettlebell Juggling Foundations, and then talk about what is included in this new freestyle course. In Juggling Foundations, I introduced how to juggle the kettlebell. We built our movements from the ground up so that anyone, if you are even just beginning with kettlebells, can start to learn. We looked at establishing our pendulum style swing, which gave us access to learning our first flips in front of the body. We then took all of our 5 basic flips, which if you aren't familiar with, we have our simple, hey Sophie, our reverse, mug flip, helicopter, and our oblique. We took those flips and started integrating them into our lateral patterns, beginning how to learn how to then move side to side, integrating these different flips, giving us access to not only moving forwards and back, but side to side. We then evolved those lateral patterns to look at some cool movement patterns, such as going under the leg, as well as behind the back. We also introduced what we call our between the leg releases, building on our figure 8 pattern and turning that into a flip with our between the leg simple. Now we have access to moving forwards and backwards, side to side, and across the body, catching outside and moving across. So we're starting to develop a really cool repertoire and functional movement capacity or repertoire of being able to move all around the body. Once again, juggling, yes, it looks cool, it's creative, it's fancy, but it also teaches us how to navigate so much more movement that most of us will never learn in a conventional fitness model. From there, we jumped into learning how to do doubles. And so I had a chapter teaching all of our double flips in front of the body. And then we jumped into more of a freestyle oriented chapter where we're looking at rack catches and rack releases. Our ability to flip into our rack position and our ability to flip out of our rack position. Lastly, we had a chapter that was more classical juggling oriented. We learned how to do our mills, simple and oblique, and then learned how we could turn and execute skills like our static, which is flipping the bell onto the bottom into this palm on top. So enter Freestyle Juggling, my next course, launching very soon. So get on that Juggling Foundation course if you want to build a foundation to really explore more creativity and more skills. What we're doing is first learning the tap flip in this course. We're not only going to learn how to do the tap flip in front of the body, utilizing different techniques like same hand tap and catch, but also flipping into the opposite hand, tapping, catching with the opposite hand again, and switching it up. All skills that are going to come in handy for different ways we're going to throw that tap flip. We then learn how to do our lateral tap flip, learning how to execute that same rotation but side to side. What I'm super stoked about in this course is that the emphasis is not only going to be on refining the isolated movements, such as a lateral tap flip, but every skill is going to be accompanied by an integrative flow where we're going to right away learn how to integrate that movement into other skills. So there's going to be over 30 new skills introduced in this course, and there's going to be 30 integrative flows where we're going to learn right away how to combine it with something. Because I want this course to open up opportunities for you to really tap into flow, really utilize these skills, not in isolation, but be able to put creative combinations together. We're also going to have chapter flows on top of that. So learning how to integrate even more transitions in all of our newly learned skills together. We're then going to learn how to spice up our under the leg releases as well as our between the leg releases. And so we're going to learn movements like our under the leg oblique transition, and then right away learn how to integrate movements like that tap flip, also traveling under the leg. We're going to learn how to go between the leg, connect that simple into a cross-body release, and so we can effortlessly change planes. One of my favorite movements looks like this. So I'm transitioning from moving forwards and backwards into the lateral plane, opening up a lot of opportunities to combine some fun stuff together. And that flow was actually one of the integrative flows that you will learn. Next, we have our behind the back releases and catches. We're going to learn how to do behind the back to rack, behind the back release into a tap flip, and we're also going to learn all of our behind the back catches. So building our repertoire of how we can release in front, catch behind in a myriad of different ways, such as that simple, the reverse, helicopter catches, as well as going under the leg and catching behind the back. Now, every one of these skill tutorials is taught in depth. And every one of these tutorials follows a very specific framework for how I approach safely and progressively getting you to complete the catch. There's lots of opportunities to regress. There's lots of opportunities to intentionally drop the bell and slowly build into how we're going to catch it. And lots of opportunities to ask me questions, engage with a private community where we're sharing videos, flows, questions, and everything else you need in order to feel confident with your journey. After the behind the back catches and releases and all of the flows I'm going to be teaching, we're going to travel into our rack catches and rack releases. We're going to be learning some different ways we can release the bell from our rack position, including our helicopter release in front and to the side. And then we're going to learn some cool ways to get into the rack position, such as connecting our under the leg to rack. We're going to learn how to connect our helicopter to our rack position, as well as our reverse flip, traveling laterally across the body, as well as in front of the body. Lastly, we have a chapter looking at developing our over-the-shoulder release, as well as our diagonal over-the-shoulder release. You'll be taught singles to start, and then we're going to deep dive everyone's favorite movement to learn, the over the back. Now, what I've decided to do for this course was include every prerequisite video and skill you need as a bonus for signing up in that pre-launch period. And so if you are not sure about how to do any of these skills, well, there are prerequisite skills, foundational skills that come before, that if you learn those, will develop into being able to do more of the intermediate skills inside of this course. So that is what I'm super stoked about: filming, editing, making sure everything is in place, and gathering all of the knowledge and experience that I've learned over the last 5 years, learning freestyle juggling, and in particular, teaching this craft to so many people around the world. I've had the opportunity to teach every type of flip that I teach in this course over 20 times to various people of various skill sets, all with different unique challenges and ways of moving that are unique to them and their body. And so I've taken all of that into account, along with my experience preparing for different competitions. I've competed in 2 different world competitions, a 3rd one coming up this October in London, as well as a North American Open. And I've had the opportunity to win a world competition in 2 different freestyle categories, as well as the North American Games freestyle event. I also placed 2nd in a freestyle event at my first competition back in 2023. And so I have a lot of experience being able to build my own skills to become competition ready. And everything I've learned through that process, I'm putting into this course. So August 23rd, I'm pre-launching this course, meaning I'm gonna have almost everything done and filmed, and you're gonna have early access to everything before the full launch. And in that pre-launch period, I'm gonna have a bunch of bonuses that you can also acquire. I'm super stoked to have you involved in this new course, and please feel free to ask me any questions you have as it comes to this course or my last course, Juggling Foundations. If you don't already have Juggling Foundations, I would highly recommend starting there. Although this freestyle course is going to have a ton of prerequisite videos for getting acquainted with what we need to learn, there are so many more skills I teach in Juggling Foundations that are important to know. And then if you combine this next course to your repertoire, you're going to be unstoppable and a creative artist with the kettlebell. So the link for that course is down below. You can check it out. Go ahead and grab it. You have a month before I launch this next course, so get going. And without further ado, let me know if you have any questions. Let's go ahead and talk about what's involved in this course. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts about juggling in general. Any competition questions. My mission right now in life is to help spread this incredible sport that's growing around the world to as many people as possible. So I'm in it. I'm excited for you to be in it as well, and we'll see you later.